Gente! Gente, acorda, velho! Ai, meu Deus do céu!
On June 13th, 2026, 21-year-old Maria Eduarda was about to rope jump off a bridge in the interior of São Paulo, Brazil. Just minutes before, she'd jokingly posted, "Who was the crazy person that let me jump off a bridge?" Staff fitted her into a harness and led her to the edge. Just after she was launched from over 40 meters, everyone realized the safety rope was never attached to her, but it was already too late, and she died on impact. It later emerged that the companies running the jump had no authorization to operate on that bridge. Several of the staff were arrested and charged over her death, with 2 of them caught trying to flee into the woods before a police helicopter tracked them down.
Bueno, aquí tenemos un man que ese man va a demostrar la finura que tiene en la vida. Pónganle cuidado. ¿Así? ¿Listo? Vale. Va a demostrar la finura que tiene este man en la vida. ¿Ah? Amor, no pasa nada, simplemente se deja llevar del agua y ya.
In August 2024, after weeks of heavy rain, the Caquetá River in southern Colombia had swollen into a violent brown torrent. A shirtless young man, out adventuring with his friends, climbed down to the edge of a bridge over it and jumped in, but strangely, no one tried to stop him, because some of the locals do the same when the river rises. But this time, it was much higher than they realized, swollen far beyond anything safe. He made it out alive, but a few seconds longer in that water, and those likes would have cost him his life. On November 17, 2025, a security camera caught a quiet morning on a street in San Raimundo, Guatemala. It looked like just any other day. Then, in an instant, a massive blast rips through the street. It had come from an illegal fireworks warehouse just out of frame, with 8 people inside. 2 were killed almost instantly, and the toll only rose as more were pulled from the rubble. Several others were rushed away with severe burns. It wasn't the first time either. San Raimundo has lost people to these unregulated warehouses again and again. On September 7, 2025, a dash cam in a Pasadena police car was rolling as an officer pulled into a department's parking garage in California. Up ahead stood 2 fellow officers, and within seconds, a joke with a loaded gun would go horribly wrong. Out of frame, the officer behind the wheel had drawn his own gun, pointed it back, and it accidentally went off. The colleague he hit would fully recover, and the shooter, Officer Roy Alatorre, lost his job over it. On June 2, 2026, a dashcam was rolling in slow afternoon traffic in Antibes, on the south coast of France. The cars had crawled almost to a standstill, with no idea what was bearing down on them from behind. By the time it finally stopped, the truck had hit a police car and more than 20 other vehicles, leaving 37 people injured, yet somehow, not one of them was killed. It had come down a slope completely out of control, and the driver was arrested at the scene, believed to have simply fallen asleep at the wheel.
וואו, יש בולען בבריכה, כפרה. מישהו צילם את זה? הטיקטוק צילם. מה?
On July 21, 2022, around 50 people had gathered for a company party at a villa in Karmei Yosef, central Israel, a handful of them cooling off in the pool on a hot afternoon. Just after 2 o'clock, it all turned to chaos. Out of nowhere, the ground gave way beneath the pool, pulling 2 of the swimmers down with the water. One of them, 32-year-old Khalil Kimhi, was dragged around 13 meters deep, and by the time rescuers reached him 4 hours later, he was dead. The other somehow climbed back out alive. It turned out the pool had been built without a permit on ground known to be unstable, and the couple who owned it were arrested over his death.